We went in there and right away, the people were just like rude. Like they gave us our menus, didn't even tell us Happy Easter when they were telling everybody else Happy Easter. And the whole time she was just looking at us, giving us dirty looks and talking to her workers, like whispering and stuff about us. So I definitely will never go back there.
A Minnesota teenager is accusing a Buffalo Wild Wings of discrimination after a server followed her into the bathroom and demanded that she prove that she was a girl. Cenk, before we get to the details about what happened, what are your initial thoughts here?
Yeah, this is sick, guys. This is why, look, we had a lot of debates about transgender issues. On the outer edges on professional sports, I disagreed with left-wing orthodoxy. People took my head off. Oh, you're a right-wing, blah, 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 blah. But when you go that far out, then they start walking your rights backwards. And what I was worried about is that they would walk them backwards to the point where they say, okay, trans people shouldn't be allowed in the military. They're not 100% American. They should not have the same rights as us. I despise that. The core of the country, the idea of America is equality for everyone. And the second thing I was worried about was bathrooms. And so here we are. Okay, so I don't have to convince the left. And for those of you who voted for Trump, I know that some of you will never be convinced. If you're on the outer edges, you hate trans people, and you're proud of it if you're radical right? Oh yeah, they're this and that, oh, okay. Well, I'm never gonna convince you and I don't care to convince you. But if you're among the Trump voters who are decent people and you, oh, hey, I thought the trans sports was unfair, what, etc. Guys, are you really gonna do this to people? And you see how it's like, just like we told you, it's not just trans people, now they're doing it to women. I mean, how insulting is this? Imagine they pull your wife aside as she's going to the bathroom and go, we think you're a man. We accuse you of being a man. Oh my God, that is horrific, horrific. Is that what you're signing up for? No, get out of the bathrooms. You guys are nuts. Let people go into the bathrooms that make sense for them. So anyway, keep going, Jordan.
The girl you saw in that video is Garika Mudra, a cisgender 18-year-old high schooler from Minnesota. She's also biracial and lesbian for context. While dining at a Buffalo Wild Wings in Owatonna back in April, when she went to the restroom, a server followed her inside, banged on the stall door while saying, "This is a women's restroom. The man needs to get out of here," according to Gender Justice, a Minnesota gender equality organization that filed the charge on Mudra's behalf. Let's hear more from the legal director of Gender Justice, Jess Braverman, who spoke more about the situation.
Her waitress came in, banged on the stall door, accused her of being a man or a boy in the women's room, forced her out of the stall, and eventually made her unzip her hoodie to show that she has breasts. She was wearing a shirt, but that she wasn't allowed to leave the bathroom until that happened. It's really upsetting. It should never happen to anyone. Our client's only 18 years old. She's still in high school.
This wasn't the first time something like this happened, but this is like the worst time. Because other people, like, they just say like, this is a girl's restroom, and they just go on about their day. But this one, like, she kept it going. She was like mad screaming, like, she made me feel like very uncomfortable. Like now, like after that, like I just don't like going in public bathrooms. Like I just hold it in. And now like I just think like, oh, I'm gonna get harassed. I'm gonna keep getting harassed like this.
According to the press release, the employee blocked Mudra from leaving the bathroom until she proved she was a woman. After that, the server then left the restroom without saying anything. Gender Justice filed the charge of discrimination with the Minnesota Department of Human Rights, arguing that what happened to Mudra violates the state's Human Rights Act, which protects people from discrimination based on gender identity and sexual orientation, among other protected statuses. According to NBC News, Minnesota is one of 21 states and DC that explicitly prohibit discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity in public spaces. Sarah Jane Baldwin, senior staff attorney at Gender Justice, said at a news conference Tuesday that even though Mudra isn't trans, the server's actions were based on assumptions that she made about Mudra, and that Minnesota's law protects against discrimination based on stereotypes or assumptions about protected characteristics like gender identity. Baldwin also added, businesses have a legal obligation not to just have anti-discrimination policies on paper, but to train staff and ensure that those policies are followed in real time, When that doesn't happen, the business is liable for the harm caused. Mudra's stepmother, Shauna, also shared with Gender Justice, "We know Garrica was targeted because of how she looks. She didn't do anything wrong. She didn't fit what that server thought a girl should look like. I was shocked and heartbroken by how many people shared similar stories after I posted about it online. This shouldn't be normal. We can do better, and we have to." Jack, what do you make of this story?
Look, this is why I despise culture wars. So first of all, it almost always involves some form of cruelty to one another. Secondly, it divides us. And so now we're questioning what gender everybody is going into bathrooms. I mean, how is this not going to be a disaster? And by the way, it makes me want to strike back. Well, how would I strike back? Would it be being cruel to random right-wing people? No, I would never do that, right? But a Republican politician is going in the bathroom. If it's a woman and she's a politician and she's in favor of these kind of laws, I say no. Prove to me that you're not a man. You look like a man. I would tell every female Republican politician, you look like a man. You have to prove it. Sorry, don't go into that bathroom. That's it, I'm sending someone in after you, okay? And I would say to every Republican male politician, you look like a girl. So no, you're not allowed to go in the men's bathroom, okay? You look like a woman. Come on, prove it to me, Okay, show me your junk, let's go, okay? All right, if you guys are gonna do it to random innocent civilians who aren't politicians, who aren't anything, and you're gonna humiliate people like this, what do you mean, show me your genitalia? What kind of lunatic position is this? And if you're wondering why I was in favor of trans girls being allowed to play in high school sports and not professional sports, I'm not saying that it shouldn't be allowed, I'm saying the league should make their decisions. But why do I make a different case for high school? Because of this, because I don't want perverts in high schools going, okay, I want to see the kid's genitalia. Or, oh, I don't know, that girl might be a boy. Show me your genitalia. No, I don't want it, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Oh, my daughter came in second instead of first. I'll live with it. The 10 times that happens in the country. What I can't live with is you asking to see the genitalia of millions of kids. Or prove to me that you're a woman. Well, how sick and gross is that? Nah, this isn't America, man. This is America tearing itself apart so you won't notice when they do a $4 trillion tax cut for the rich. Oh, right, that just happened.
Yeah, I mean, I also want to point out the right and to some extent the corporate world joining the right in their anti-DEI crusade sets up more and more scenarios like this. Of course, this is largely led by the right's culture war, attacking and demonizing trans people, which is repugnant, but also their attempts to totally eradicate DEI as a core concept or as part of an HR or training program results in things like this. Because if you trained your employee on non-discrimination policies, maybe you're not on the hook for what should be and probably will be a massive discrimination lawsuit. So thankfully, Minnesota is a state that protects people. Unfortunately, only 20 or so states do. We would love to see that nationwide, but red states don't want that. They want people like this, and they want trans people, and they want people in the LGBTQIA plus community to be discriminated against. They don't care. They don't think you're worthy of the same level of respect or dignity or rights. You're a second-class citizen in their eyes. So thanks to the Minnesota government for prioritizing the rights of all people. We'd love to see that elsewhere, but this is just their anti-DEI crusade coming back and biting them in the butt.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.